prepare for yapping. Prepare for a lot of yapping. You've been warned. And I've been feeling like I want to reread Magnolia Parks, and they're all serial killers. I think I'm scared of who I'm gonna become when I read this book, maybe. I don't really know what this book is about. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to go over my spring TBR. A new season has sprung and it's time for new books, and by new books I mean all the books that are already on my shelf that I need to read, and a few new ones. So let's start off with the new releases that will be coming out that I'm excited for and need to read. The first new release that will be coming out soon is Destructively Mine by Kristen Bakker-Ritchie. This is the second book in the Webs We Weave trilogy, I believe. If you don't know, Kristen Bakker-Ritchie are the authors of the Addicted Calloway Sisters series, which is one of my 6-7 star series. I love those books so much. So when they started their new series, I was quick to jump onto it. I did read Dishonestly Yours when it came out, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite book I've ever read. It's definitely not my favorite book by them. I think I gave this book a 3. No. I think I gave this book a 4-star, and I'm very excited to see where the rest of their story goes. I will say the female main character does have blue hair. Just saying, blue hair's fun. So pretty much two best friends who grew up being cons and learned how to be cons at a young age have left their con family and want to start over and have a normal life. So they move to this small town in Connecticut and they take on new lives. And while doing that, the rest of their clan starts to fall in and kind of ruin their plans on a normal life. But the main couple of the story, Rocky and Phoebe, they've been in love with each other their entire lives, and they have played and faked being married, dating, exes, any relation you can think of, they have played it. But it's best friend's brother, they're criminals, all around. Sign me up. I'm into it. And then the next new release we have is Rewind It Back by Liz Tomford. This is the 5th and final book in the Windy City series, and I am so excited for this book. If you don't know the Windy City series, it is a sports romance series. So there are books that follow hockey players, baseball players, basketball players, and they all join this one big found family group that is absolutely amazing. Some of the best found family I've ever read. So this book follows Rio, and I don't really know much about this book. All I know is I love Rio. You see him in every one of the other books, and he is such a fun golden retriever man that, he gives perfect guy best friend vibes. Like, overall, he is so sweet, and I have been dying to read his book, so I can't wait. Now we're getting into my TBR. So the first book that I'm so excited to read is The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. If you do not know who Jessa Hastings is, she has written one of my favorite series of all time. Another 6-7 star series, the Magnolia Park series. And so I am so excited to read this book. I've been hearing people talking about it and people are loving it, so I'm there. I absolutely love Jessa's writing. Like, she can explain the most simple thing and make it sound so beautiful, and I'm just so excited to read her writing again. I've been in the mood and I've been feeling like I want to reread Magnolia Parks, so hopefully this will cure that before I put myself through so much emotional torment again reading Magnolia Parks. But pretty much, I don't exactly know what this book is about for the most part. I think this girl gets sent off to boarding school as like a kid and ends up staying there, and I believe it's in London, and now it's like years later something happens and she has to go back home to Georgia, and something happens. I don't know. I do know that like her brother is an alcoholic. Why did I put a T at the end? I do know that her brother is an alcoholic and he is there with his sponsor, and I believe there's some sort of romance with the sponsor, but I don't believe that this is necessarily a romance. I believe that it's more fiction. I did find it in the fiction section, and I was like, actually I didn't find it. They had to show me where it was because I didn't look for it in fiction, because I'm so excited. Also, this cover, like, something about Jessa Hastings covers are always fantabulous. I love it. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, we have A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston. This book came out last year and people were talking about it and were very excited, but I hadn't read The 7-Year Slip yet. I wanted to read that to dip my feet into the Ashley Poston pool. So I read that book and absolutely loved The 7-Year Slip. So I'm very excited to read A Novel Love Story. I feel like the cover and the colors are giving spring, summer vibes. So I think this will definitely be good for them. I think this book is about a girl who is going on some sort of trip and ends up getting stranded or stuck in this random town, which happens to not be a random town because it happens to be the town. How many times have I just said town? It happens to be the town that her favorite book or book series or something along those lines takes place. I feel like that's so fun because wouldn't we all just love to get stuck in our favorite world? Like, send me to Chestnut Springs. Send me to London. I don't know. But I feel like that's just such a fun plot of a book. So I'm excited. And then we have Training the Heart by Paisley Hope. This is the second book in the Silver Pine series. I read Holding the Reins a couple months back and I really enjoyed it. Another cowboy romance. I love it. I love it. It will always be my favorite thing ever. And I really enjoyed that book. Oh, that was in my blind date with a book. My best friend picked that book out for me and I absolutely loved it. So this is the second book, and from the pieces of what I saw of these two characters in that book, I'm very excited to read this book. It's kind of failing me now. I believe she's a horse trainer and she's coming in to work at this ranch and he is the ranch owner. And I'm pretty sure he's a grumpy single dad. And so, isn't he? In this steamy cowboy romance, a grumpy ranch owner and a sunny horse trainer must learn to work together. The second novel in the Pines Ranch. Okay, maybe it's not single dad. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I made that up. I think there's another brother, so I think there's another book. I could be so wrong. I feel like I've read so many cowboy romances, they might just be jumbled up in my head. But either way, I'm excited. I will love any cowboy romance you throw at me, so throw them at me. The cowboys. I mean, and the romance too. Anyway, next up we have Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. This is the second book in the Eden series. I read Indigo Ridge last year and I had a good time. It wasn't my favorite book. I did enjoy it. I felt like it was just a fun, quick read. I do know that people love and adore this series so much, and I think they say that this book is better than Indigo Ridge. I could be making that up though. I'm excited. I don't really know what this is about. I just know that it's about another one of the brothers, correct? Is it about a brother and a girl that has a baby? Is that this one? Yes, she has a baby. I don't know. Okay, anyway, she has a baby. She's moving to this town. She's gonna start working at his sister's inn and question mark. I don't know. I guess I'll find out when I read it. Also, did I mention that I never know what these books are about? Most of the time, if I'm reading a book, I'm going into it mostly blind. I have a vague premise on what it is, but I don't ever actually know the plot of books before I read them. So that's why everything is so vague. If you're new here, that's the deal. Sorry. I'm giving you what I got. Anyway, the next book we have is Just Last Night by Mari McFarlane. I have heard so many people talking about this author and raving about her books, so I wanted to check one out. And I feel like this is the one that people talk about the most. I don't really know what this book is about. How about it? I think it's like childhood friends to lovers, maybe? Yeah, I think it might be friends to lovers. And I love that trope. That's one of my favorite tropes. And it's supposed to be really heartfelt and emotional. And one thing about me, if something's gonna make me cry, if something's gonna give me hard-hitting quotes, I'm into it. I'm into it. Make me feel all the emotions. I want to cry. Please. Next up, we have Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. This is the second book in the Knock 'Em Out series. I have yet to finish this series. These books have been sitting on my shelves for so long. I feel like they've been in every TBR video I've ever done, and I need to read them. I need to read them. People love them. And I really, really enjoyed Things We Never Got Over. So I just need to read this book. I don't know what's stopping me. I think it's just the physical act of picking up the book and starting it, but I want to get it done. I want to read this book and finish the series this year. That is my general goal, is to finish more series and get through this TBR that I have. Yes, this book follows the brother of the male main character from Things We Never Got Over. It's him and his neighbor, I think. I think a girl moves into town, which we also met in Things We Never Got Over. I think she has a past in town with the brother. I don't remember. But a lot of things happened in Things We Never Got Over that I'm excited to see how they move forward in this book and get some answers to that. Also, I really enjoyed the characters, so I should get back to knock them out. I need to. And then next up we have Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver. This is the second book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. This book is it's a dark rom-com. So this book follows, or this series pretty much follows, couples of serial killers, and they're really funny, and some wild, crazy things happen. I don't know necessarily about this book, but I know what happened in Butcher and Blackbird, and I had a really good time reading that book, and I thought it was very funny, and I enjoyed the characters. I loved the comedy of it. It was so funny, and I had just a great time. But yeah, questionable things happen in that book, and it was very good. So I'm excited to see this book. I was intrigued by Lachlan, is that his name? I'm intrigued by Lachlan. I feel like he's very like broody, and from what is said about him in Butcher and Blackbird, it makes him seem like super dangerous, like even more dangerous than the rest of them, and they're all serial killers. Also, the female main character, her backstory was interesting to me, and so I'd like to hear more about that. So, yes. And then we have Killer Instinct, which is the second, why did I do that? Which is the second book in the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I read The Naturals last year, or a couple months ago, and I really enjoyed it. I am not a big mystery thriller girly. I'm trying to be. I would love to be a mystery thriller girly, but I'm not. But Killer Instinct, Naturals really sparked my interest, and I was very intrigued by the characters and the traits of the people in this book. So if you don't know, The Naturals is about this group of kids who have kind of special abilities that help them solve crimes. And so the female main character of these books is a natural born profiler, and so now these kids that are born with these abilities are working with the FBI, solving cold crimes, and I had a great time. I read that book in one day, and it was great. So I'm very intrigued to see where the rest of the story goes, and I've heard that it's amazing, so I'm on it. Next, we're gonna get into a little bit of fantasy, since I'm in a fantasy mood right now. So I'm kind of just gonna grab onto it and hold on to it because I feel like I haven't read much fantasy in a while, and I typically don't gravitate towards it in the spring and summertime. So we have LegendB Born by Tracy Devon. This is the first book. I believe it's a trilogy, but I could be wrong. They might be making it into a series. I don't know. I believe this book follows a girl whose mother dies, and then she goes off to a school and they have some sort of secret society with magic of some sort. I think I made that up, but maybe not. Yeah, I guess they have magic and it's like a society of some sort, and that's all I really know. But I've heard a lot of amazing things about this book and the other two books that follow, and I want to get into them. Also, the main character's name is Bri. Like, come on. I have to read it. And then lastly, I have been putting this book off for so long. I just need to do it. I need to rip the bandage off and do it so I can move on and finally start Throne of Glass. We have A Court of Silver Flames, which is the last released, I guess, book of the Akadar series. I am honestly looking forward to this book. I'm looking forward to it a lot because I think I love Nesta. At least from what I've read so far, I enjoy Nesta, and so I feel like I'm really gonna enjoy this book. But I just need to actually pick it up and start reading. Oh, look, I literally have my Tate McRae bookmark in it because I'm ready. I'm ready. I just am not ready. I think I'm scared of who I'm gonna become when I read this book, maybe. Maybe that's it. And I think that's it. I think that's all the books that I have on my spring TBR. It's not that many, but it's a lot because I know that I'm going to shove other books in between that. So we'll see. We'll see if I actually read them. Maybe I'll do another video updating whether I read my spring TBR, and the answer is going to be no. The answer is going to be no. These are the books in my head that I'd like to read, but I'm a mood reader, and so that's probably not what's going to happen. And I apologize in advance, but I'm not that sorry. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Wait, I forgot the books that I don't own. Pause. There's only two. So the first book we have is Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. This is an accidental pregnancy trope, and I believe you follow this girl through her pregnancy, and I don't know if it's the baby daddy or if it's some other guy, like help her through and work through her pregnancy and all the things that come with it. But I also think that it's more on the women's fiction side than a romance. There's that one, and then we have Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. I have read Annabelle Monaghan before and I really enjoyed it. I read this, what is it called, Summer Romance? Yes, I read Summer Romance and it was very good. I really enjoyed it. So Nora Goes Off Script is about a single mom, a divorcee, and she is a script writer for TV and film, and one of her scripts, or one of her whatever, is being made, and this super famous actor comes into town and is in the role, and I guess she might have a relationship with the famous actor, which I love it. I love it. It gives Starstruck vibes. I need that. I think about Starstruck all the time. It gives, like When in Rome, like those books give such Starstruck vibes, and it's one of my favorite Disney DComs. If you don't like Starstruck, reevaluate. Thank you. Anyway, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you want to come hang out with me again, hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.